I arrived in the Fred and Elizabeth Blake Stengel's home on September 7, 1918, in Rhineland, Texas. 2 days later I was taken to St. Joseph's Church, where I was baptized and named Wilhelmine Eva. However, I was so small that my Aunt Lena started calling me Bimpany, which soon became Bim. So I was really known as Bim instead of Wilhelmine. I was the fourth child in the family. 2 boys and a girl were older than I, and later there were 2 more boys. I especially enjoyed going to school in the buggy driven by my oldest brother Ed. That was fun. My buggy memory is stuck with me. At the time I drove the buggy home alone. The others had to go to some kind of a school activity. The horses started running fast, and I was really afraid. So I managed to pull the reins, and they slowed down. Another memory of those school days was homemade bread. Mom knew that we were always hungry when we came home, and while we were changing our clothes, she got baked sweetbread for us. That's a memory that stays with me. When I was in the 8th grade, my sister Coletta joined the monastery in Fort Smith. I think that is what caused me thinking about religious life as a possibility for me. 6 years later, when she came home from her first visit, I knew that was what I wanted to be, a sister. It seemed right for me. When I went to the pastor for a recommendation, he told me no. Then he told me that there was another pastor coming, taking his place. He saw my distress and chuckled. He then wrote a recommendation for me. I can laugh about this now, but sure he wasn't funny then. My parents were thrilled to hear that another one of their daughters wanted to go to St. Scholasticus. It seemed that they expected all along that I had a vocation in religious life. A cousin of mine entered with me. She, however, went home after the second day, realizing that it was not meant for her. After first profession, I had my first visit home. When I returned from my visit, Mother Perpetua told me not to unpack because she was sending me next day to Subiaco, my first mission. I went upstairs and I think I cried the whole night long, knowing that I would have to cook for all those boys and monks. Throughout the years, I was on a mission in 6 different places. I was driver for 13 years here at the monastery for sisters going to doctors and dentist appointments. After that, I was assigned to Bethany to keep it in order. That was my favorite mission. Bethany is a country place in Hackett, about 15 miles from the monastery. It is an ideal place to drive, to have a leisure time and be renewed. I put up birdhouses there and kept the birds well fed. There were a number of different kinds of birds that visited regularly, especially cardinals. They were my favorite. As for the squirrels, they were a nuisance. They were not afraid of me or of anyone else. They had the sneakiest way of getting into the bird seed, no matter what I did. I do miss going to Bethany and taking care of the birds, azaleas and court myrtles. However, here on 3rd floor, we really enjoyed the birds in the aviary here in the infirmary. About 2 years ago, I had a stroke. I woke up in the morning and could not get out of bed. I knew something had happened. Somehow I managed to get to the hall and call for help. I had had a mild stroke and ended up in the hospital for 4 weeks. From there I was moved to the infirmary floor in the monastery. I get wonderful care here. In fact, I don't think I could do better anywhere else. These days I walk with the walker, but mostly in a wheelchair. I am grateful for all the blessings of my life, especially for my parents and for years as a Benedictine. Also for the good health I enjoy until I had my stroke. I continue to count my blessings. Now I have time to pray, listen to music, and enjoy my company among the companions here. The blessings outweigh the difficulties that I have. Like I say, St. Peter, Lord, it is good to be here. For anyone who is thinking about religious life, I would tell them, come and see. Visit us and find out what you can about this way of life. Most of all, pray to God that God will show you the way you should go.